I apologize. We're going to have to leave the screenshots of us up there. So maybe what else? Yeah, I'm going to have to leave it there. So I apologize. Let's get going because I know we're a bit delayed. First of all, I want to thank you so much for having me. You guys are amazing. And we definitely look forward to growing our business with your network of dealers. My name's Frank Pietrobono. I'm with Responder, head of sales for the monitoring vertical. And hopefully over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to present to you some important messages. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about Responder. But more importantly, I think I want to teach you a little bit about what guards as a service means. And if you take anything away today at all, it's I want you to take the message of how you're going to be able to grow your recurring revenue by more than 15% next month without actually leaving your office. Now, so let's get started. I mean, our homes and businesses are getting ever smarter, and we know that the monitoring stations are definitely keeping up and keeping pace with the technology and the evolving solutions that we keep presenting to our customers. The challenge we have, though, is that police services that support them are not keeping up with this. Now, we all thought about there must be a better way to do this. There must be a better way for us to service customers, and let's try using technology to do it. So I guess some call us the Uber for guard service, but really, I think we are what I would prefer to say is that we're the protect and grow the alarm industry company. We help protect and grow the alarm industry, and you're probably saying to yourself, why does this industry need to be protected? And we think that there's a bargain at the heart of our industry, and that's broken. Listen, the foundation of our industry is always based on a bargain between your company and a customer. We sell customers peace of mind. We've been using that tagline for 30 plus years. We charge them a monthly fee. We monitor them for 24/7. And in return, when the system is triggered, customers believe they are receiving response to that event. Now, we call this the bargain at the heart of our industry. Now, I don't know if any of you have had a chance to see this. There's a white paper that was recently published by Parks and Associates. If you're not familiar with Parks, you should definitely be subscribing to some of their newsletters. They provide us a plethora of information for the industry. And the sad reality from this report came out when we read it, that almost 42% of homeowners think the police is arriving in 10 minutes. And to make matters worse, another 44% believe that the police are going to be getting there in 30 minutes. So if we look overall, there's 82% of consumers that were surveyed expect the police to arrive in less than 30 minutes. Now, I don't know about you, but that gap between the customers and expectations of police and what the police are delivering is getting wider and wider and wider. Look, there's over 18,000 police agencies, and this means there's a lot of variations on standards and ordinance and openness to share data. Now, some of the data that we've collected suggests that it costs the police department somewhere between $193,000 and up per officer per year. Now, the one data that we couldn't really pin down is how much of that time that officer is on the road is actually spent on alarm response. We don't really know, but we looked at a case in Denver, for example. Denver did a deep dive into some of their data back in half a year of 2020. And during that time, they estimated they responded to over 360,000 calls. And they said that 5% of their calls were false alarms. They were alarm responses. Sorry, not false alarms, were alarm responses. Now, Responders data also suggested that 98% of the time when we go out, they're basically a response that doesn't have any criminal activity attached to it. We can call that a false alarm. The 2% that were potentially criminal, out of that 2%, only a quarter of those were crimes that really realistically led to further police intervention or, where there was the rest of them were kind of vandalism and sort of similar petty crime type stuff. So when we look at all this data, I mean, there's tight budgets that are making it really tough for police to have to hire more resources, and they're looking to lower the activity, the low value activity. So a lot of police departments are announcing that they really don't want to do alarm response, but if they do, they want to charge a fee or a fine, or they're basically saying, hey, we'll go, but it has to be a verified type of alarm if we're going to go. So when all this happens, I mean, customers start to question, why they're paying monthly fees. If police are taking longer to go, if police don't go, that's going to put in question to your customers why they're paying the monthly fees. I don't know if any of you guys have ever did a deep dive into cancellations, or if you ever evaluate why customers leave, but it'd be curious to find out how many customers left because after their initial term of the contract, they just saw no value in the monitoring. They saw no value that they didn't get any police response or any response at all. It'd be interesting to find that out. We are doing some experiments with different companies to find some of this data that we would love to present at a later date. So overall, look, there's a bargain at the heart of our industry, and the bargain between you and that customer is broken. And we know it, and the customers are starting to really understand that as well. Here's a few headline clippings. I mean, if any of you had picked up the local papers, which you probably don't pick up papers anymore, you probably read it online. That's kind of funny. But these are some of the headings. You know, you guys have all heard about defund the police, verified alarms, increasing fines, landscapes changing. Customers are starting to get this information as well. These are just a few over the last couple of months, but there's probably hundreds of them, and there's probably a bunch of them in towns that you do business in today. So the fact that the police are slower and slower to respond, if they even respond at all, and the fact that they're charging more and more when they do respond, if they respond, is a problem at the heart of our industry. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on in the industry. Some of you have kept up with the associations to try and fix this. A lot of people are trying to get false alarms. False alarms have been a problem in our industry for years. I've been in the industry for almost 30 years, and we've always had an issue with false alarms. We've never figured out how to really quite fix it. But you know, people are introducing technologies like video verification. They're introducing new standards like ADS-01 that they're hoping that is going to reduce the number of responses to alarm systems. Responder supports all of these efforts, but look, the fact that this is all going on puts your monitoring at risk. It makes it harder and harder for you to start fixing. I've lived your side of the world. I was on your side of the world for many, many, many years. And when you're calling on a new customer to try and sell them a system, and that customer may be aware that, hey, look, police aren't really coming, regardless of what happens when your alarm goes off, that makes it more difficult to sell somebody a system. It makes it more difficult to close that customer. And also, if I'm sending you an invoice to monitor for like $40 a month, and you know that when you need it, nobody's coming, this will also increase the likelihood that when that customer contract expires, the chances of them renew it are going to be slim. So that's the problem. I know it took a long time to get to this point, but that's the problem that Responder is looking to solve. I mean, we basically created something new in the book. We created an alarm response service. We developed a one-click platform that provides what I call an on-demand alarm response. What's an on-demand alarm response? We created a network of fully licensed guard companies that's available to you through a fully integrated solution with your monitoring station. And I'm going to tell you a lot more about that in a couple of next couple of slides. But then I also want to show you as well what we do and how we do it. But first, I really need you to sort of keep a few things in mind as I'm showing you this, and I'm going to try to attempt the demo. Hopefully, it'll work. And I'm also going to tell you a little bit about some of the marketing efforts that we've done. But three things that I really about the service that I want you to keep in mind. The first thing is we federated a bunch of guard companies coast to coast. And so all the guard companies are kind of aggregated together under one single network. The second thing, we fully integrated into the monitoring station the process for dispatching. The workflow stays in the software. The operator knows exactly what's going on. For your customer inquiries and billing, this is all done through mass and billing software at the CMS Center. Every step is fully integrated into our partner CMS. And lastly, the whole network is driven by software so that your customer gets the experience that they expect in 2024. Full transparency, complete audit trail, and digital reporting. I mean, that's really what we expect in 2024. Now, I'm going to attempt this. Let's see what happens when we try this demo here. Let me see what.
This is exciting.
Well, that's if I can get it to share. Tell me what screen you're seeing right now.
Demolition time. It's like a
all right. Let's
derby.
see now if I can stop share here. And see if I can do this and see what we get. Ah,
I
okay, so
see
you don't
it.
get my phone. You don't get my phone, which is okay. We can still do this demo and we can do it. So in order for us to demo this, I got to play station and I have to play guards. You guys can all see my phone as well on the screen.
Yeah, I see it. And,
Yeah.
and Frank, your audio, maybe talk a little bit. It's coming in and out. Yeah, perfect. I think that'll
There
be
we
good.
go.
Thank you.
Put myself a little louder. Now you can see my phone on the screen and you can also see this portal here that I'm sharing with you right now.
Yes.
Excellent. Now, again, like I said, in order for me to do the demo, I have to play station, I have to play guard. And what I'll do is, obviously, I can't use the software that you guys have in the station, Mastermind, in the little laptop here. So I'm just going to create a little alarm here. We've got a little program that's going to pretend that I'm basically dispatching an alarm. I'm going to dispatch it to a local Starbucks here, zone 7. This all comes from the station. And also, I got a little note here, beware a suspicious person, just that, we could send the guard. And I'm going to launch this. As soon as I launch this, I'm going to basically go back to my portal. And as soon as I get to my portal, you'll see that the alarm showed up here right away. And right there we go. The station now has basically sent me the alarm. And as a guard, I'm getting this alarm to me right now. And I'm going to accept it before it gets away on me. And it just did. Find that and accept. There we go. So I'm going to accept this alarm. As you can see, as soon as I accept it, the station now knows, the operator knows it was Frank the guard. He works with ABC Guard Company. His ETA is 3 minutes. And that's what the station operator knows at this point. And the cool thing is that the station operator now can move on and go and do something else. Here's the other really cool feature that CMS has in their arsenal here is that when your end customer gets a guard dispatched to them, they receive an SMS text message from CMS. And basically the SMS text message is going to tell them the same thing I just told you. It's going to say, hey, the responder has been dispatched. His ETA is basically 2 minutes. And if your customer really wants that complete Uber experience, they can follow, there you go. They can follow that guard along the routes and watch the guard get to themselves. Now, I apologize because this would normally be put onto the screen. We just had a few problems with Zoom this morning, and I'm just holding up my phone, but normally you would see this on the screen. I just wanted to let you know that your customer receives an SMS text message giving them full transparency of everything that's going on at this point. So let's pretend now that I'm going to go back and do my investigation. I'll do that really quick. And let me just move this down here so that you can follow along with what I'm doing. And I'm just going to take a few quick pictures here and do my report. So as a guard, I'm going to go back and do my report. I'm going to arrive on site and just take a quick strip mall here. Just do a quick picture here, the front and the back. And I'll show you what the report looks like in 2 seconds as I'm doing this. And there we go. There we go. And again, I wish you guys could see this, but I'll show you the report as soon as I'm finished here. There we go. Okay. And we asked the guard to basically go through a series of questions and answer questions and take pictures on site, which I will show you in a second. We allow them to collect data around if there's any vehicles around the site, if they know what happened with the alarm, if there was anybody on site. Again, just for expediency here, I'm going to say nobody was on site, and I'm going to submit this report. Now, here's what I want you to follow here is, as this is going on, we know that the guard's on site. His response time was 1 minute. I'm going to submit this report, and as soon as I submit it, the station and your end customer get a full detailed report that is, there you go. It loads up all the details here. Your end customer with the SMS receives a report that's going to look like this here. I'll show you in a sec. There we go. And there we go. You can see that report there, Jackie. Yeah. So
Yep,
this is
great.
the report. Yeah, so the customer on their cell phone and the SMS gets the report here. They'll see these are the pictures I just took of the place, and I'm just kind of going through this quickly so that you get a sense and an idea of when I say it's sort of an Uber experience, this is what I'm talking about. And just going back here, the monitoring station has all this information in Mastermind, but they also have information in the responder portal if they ever need to refer back to it. We collect a lot of metadata here. We know exactly where the guard went. If the guard walked around the building, he leaves a little breadcrumb. If I actually went to the site, you see a little breadcrumb going around here to this site, and you can see it. Just to give you a really cool experience here as well, I'm going to just kind of give you a live shot of Toronto. Like that is what our mature market looks like. If you see all those little black dots there, those are all different guard companies and guards that are traveling around the city doing their normal stuff, and then also doing some reports and doing alarm response for us. But the important numbers here, if you look at this here, average response time today is 19 minutes. We did a total of like 97 dispatches already in the Toronto surrounding area. And this one here is mapped to Canada. We have over 480 guards on site on the platform today in Canada, which is pretty powerful if you look at this. But this is a good picture here to show you the power of the network. So I'll just go back here, and I'm going to have to just stop share here so I can get back to a presentation, because I'm sure that a bunch of people have a ton of questions. Go ahead.
So Frank, question. So where it has like the traffic, medium traffic, the weather, all that is constantly updating dependent on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. This is live. This is live. We think it's important to collect the traffic and weather conditions, because sometimes we can't get there in 19 minutes because there was a snowstorm, or there was a big storm, or there was an outage,
or a car accident, or yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we collect this data because what happens is most of the time, 2 weeks later, a customer will call back and say, "Hey, I was away on vacation. Can you tell me what happened on April the 2nd? I had an alarm." And now you got to go back and try and recreate in your head what happened. This information gives you the ability to pull up a report like this and say, "Yeah, listen, the alarm went off at this time. We dispatched the guard. The guard got there in so many minutes. He was on site for so many minutes. And by the way, there was a big storm that day. I mean, there was weather, there was snow, there was something going on." Like this is actually live now. It's snowing where I am. So yeah, that's why it's saying snow. But yeah, so it's really, really good to have this information and be able to present it back to your customers. I'm just going to stop share that here and now go back and share my other screen.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And yeah, you only wish that traditional agencies provide that information when there's slow response, because that's feedback. So that's really interesting to have.
Tell me what you're seeing now.
Demolition time.
So you just see demolition time. That's the only screen you see?
Yes. Go to market.
Oh,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
fantastic. Okay. So listen, I'm sure you guys are all impressed with that. It's something definitely new. It's great. The customers that are using the service are absolutely loving it because it gives their customers full transparency in audit and digital reporting. And it's great to see that there's a lot of benefits to your customers and how simple we make it all. But I guess the real question that we all ask ourselves when we're evaluating a product and service is, the WIFM rule. What's in it for me? I mean, everybody says that. So what? Okay, so great. You guys are good. You're doing great things, but what's in it for me? And well, I think there's 2 paths to success for you guys, for all dealers and stations. So one is to what I call upsell your existing customers. If you could add $7 of recurring revenue from existing customers, and let's assume that you have a base of like $40 monitoring, you add $7. Remember earlier on, I said that I'm going to show you how to make some recurring revenue without leaving your office. Well, that represents about a 17% uplift in recurring revenue. So the first approach is what I call conversion corporate. I said it earlier, and I'm going to keep saying this, that there's opportunities for us to increase recurring revenue without having to do anything, without having to roll a truck, without having to sell an extra product. But this is a service that you can bolt on to your existing customers and get onto their existing monitoring fee. And what we do is we've created direct mail or emails to your customers. We've tested messages across various cohorts of thousands of customers. And the success rate that we've received is over 90% of the customers that receive these letters are accepting the service. So broad strokes about the messaging, as you can see it, is like something goes something like this. I mean, police in your town have an average response time of X minutes. We've created a database now of police ordinance and police communities so that we understand what the ordinance are in each community. So when we're sending out letters, we can tell customers and give them links to the actual police department so that they can see for themselves what the police response times are. And we basically, the message continues on to say, hey, look, the fines are for false alarm fee is now X dollars, and we know you value your property, and we do as well. So we want to enroll you in our express card service, and for $7 a month, we want to ensure fast and reliable response when you need it most. We also include 2 responses per year, and we kind of move on to say, hey, the first 2 months are on us. Call us by day 61 if you want to cancel this service. That's what I call convert to closing. It's been working really well. We've tried a lot of different messages, and that one seems to resonate well with customers, and dealers that are sending these messages out to their customers absolutely love it. In fact, we've gone so far as hiring an independent marketing company that helps you do all of that. And we're happy to share costs with you on sending these messages out to your customers. And I'll share more details with you. I don't have time on this call, but happy to set up separate meetings and calls to share some numbers with you and success rates and all that. The second way to do this is what I think own the ads. Listen, we do a great job of selling systems. I mean, it's a tough market to sell systems today. You're going against a lot of different companies, a lot of different competitors. But look, the next time you're out selling and installing a new system, you should be bundling guard services with the monitoring. You can use this as a differentiator versus your competitors who didn't offer guard services because they maybe didn't care enough about the customer or just did not want to be involved in what we call the last mile service. So the reality is, we've kind of all swept that idea of police response under the rug, and we didn't want to draw too much attention to it, but we want to give you the opportunity to put customers first and add this in every bundle and differentiate yourself as a result of it. So look, I want to summarize. I know that we've gone a bit longer than 30 minutes, but I want to summarize the webinar today. I kind of highlighted to you that we got a problem with police response today. It's broken. Your customers are really finding out about it, and the deal between you and that customer expectations is starting to get the gap between you and the customer expectations is starting to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I also highlighted that I introduced you to a solution about Responder and how we can make it easier for addressing false alarms and dispatches. I introduced you to Responders, how easy we make the adding the $7 a month to recurring revenue to every account with a simple marketing message. And then I also want to make sure we understand that we're fully partnered with CMS for their support and billing. We are all in with them, and when you're ready to get started, we're ready to help you grow your business. So please reach out to either your CMS rep or reach out to myself directly, and be happy to help you move on to the next phase of getting your customers the service they deserve. Jackie, I apologize. I talked so long and we went a little bit over, but I want to make sure
No, I
that
think
we leave
it's
some time.
I think it's good. So, yeah, as Frank mentioned, obviously this service is unlike anything we've seen. So it's going to be new. And for some of the people on the call and for those who are watching it recorded, this might be something that you're saying, yeah, this could maybe fundamentally change the way that I am approaching my subscribers and how I'm selling them a level of service that they may not have currently today. Obviously, there is a financial incentive, again, for that RMR that they'd be, or that you as a integrator would be obtaining, but also just, doing things more efficiently than you already are doing in your day-to-day business with regards to the core value of what we're doing here in this industry, which is providing potentially life safety in a timely manner when it comes to dispatch. So yeah, we're really excited to work with Responder. Like I said, it's been a long road when it comes to, for us, integration, getting to this point. We're super excited about partnering, and I'm really committed to trying to get anyone who's interested to kind of get up and going. We do have some questions coming in, so let me go ahead and tackle those, Frank, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
First question is, Regions Guard Services are on contracts. So I don't know if that's what regions are they, what regions do you cover?
Oh, okay, yeah, let's back it up. So first of all, we don't own any cars, obviously. I think there's always a misconception that the guards work for us.
Yeah.
We contract guard companies. We go out to regional guard companies and we contract them in the areas. They have their own cars, they have their own logos, they have their own guards that they hire and train and license. The reason I kind of took that approach, to be honest with you, is that early on in this venture, I mean, we did a lot of work with consumer studies, and we found out that consumers really didn't care what the logo was on your badge, if it was a horse, if it was a python, if it was a dog, or if it was yellow, blue, green, or red. They didn't care about that. The number one thing that consumers cared about is, can I get somebody here quickly? And I also reiterated that with the study that Parkland Associates did. You imagine most customers think cops are going to get there in 10 minutes or less.
Mm.
So people didn't care what the logo was. They told us, okay, so that means we can hire a plethora of different guard companies, a multitude of different companies that can be on the platform. And that's where I said we federate them under a banner called Responder. We put them all on the platform. All the guards are running around with an app like this here so that we know exactly where they are. As far as regions that we cover, currently today, we are also focused on most of the what I call verification states, non-response states, but that doesn't mean that we couldn't open up other areas. For example, a month ago, a good customer called us up and said, "Hey, I've got a lot of customers in Jacksonville, Florida, and we want to open it up." And they basically took us to 3 weeks, and we were completely opened in Jacksonville as well. So if there are areas that your particular dealers would like to see us open up, we're happy to work with CMS and you, the dealer, to look at these areas and see what the viability is. But today, like, I mean, West Coast, California, Washington State, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Milwaukee and Wisconsin, Denver, all these sort of areas where the police are trying to go and do alarm response. We are open back to the land like that. They're just trying to help you there.
Yeah.
We're happy to share that with you, Jack, and you can share with the dealers after.
Okay, we're having like a lot of questions coming in all of a sudden.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
sorry, just want to make sure we get through the majority of these. So another question was, if there's a local guard service in an area, are they able to get them enrolled in the program if they're interested in participating?
100%. Most of the time when we bring new dealers on, they also bring their guard partners with them.
Okay.
This is not about taking business away from the guard companies. This is about enrolling them to make business, to make more money easier. We are like a pool system, and we pay them every 2 weeks. So the guards that are on the platform love it, and all the dealers always recommend their guard companies to us, and we put them on the platform as long as they qualify, as long as they have their licensing and they have the real estate rules and all that kind of stuff. No problem.
They're not like me, who's just like wandering the streets, the mean streets, Okay, and then another question was, what is the average response time and how do you handle an actual? I know that you have a response time. It's obviously fluid and fluctuates, but do you have any documentation or anything that you can share about response times?
I can tell you that we don't have an SLA. If anybody's asking that question about SLAs, we don't do SLAs. Our motto is to get there as fast as possible. Our fastest response time, I think, was 19 seconds in the history. And that's just because the guard happened to be driving down that street. The alarm came up and he paused and went in right away. We've been involved in a lot of quick responses where we've, caught people in the act. We've actually helped save lives. I mean, it was a month and a half ago, we helped save a child's life that was having difficulty. The parents weren't home. The alarm went off. We went there, started off in time to start administering CPR, called 911, save the kid's life. Overdoses. I mean, we've done a lot. As far as response times, our goal was to always try and get there less than 30 minutes. As the markets mature, like you see, like Toronto, as they mature, the time gets faster and faster and faster.
Because we're saturated.
It is. It gets saturated, and more guards get on the platform, more activity. The more activity we can give guards, the faster they do respond, because that means they can make a lot more money. So yes, I hope that answers the question.
It does. Yeah. And then how about the Florida market, in particular, Miami? Do you know if you are in Miami at this time?
Only place in Florida right now is Jacksonville, but like I said earlier, that does not mean we can't open up. I just need a business case. I need somebody to come up and say, hey, I've got a ton of alarms here in Miami and I would love to open them up. And we'd like to put responder there. So again, I'd work with you, Jackie. I think we're already doing a little project to try and
Yeah,
see
we are.
where,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And so just so everyone's aware, so I'm working with Responder to get them an overlay of like a cross pollination, if you will, of accounts and where they're located. So I can make sure that we hit those hotspots. So for you dealers out there that are interested, we will be definitely targeting those. And California, I see a question about California coming in right now. I know you do have support in California. This one's in particular is about Fontana.
Yep,
But so
we're good there.
that's great. And then I'm getting a lot of questions about pricing and our contracts and all of that. So if you're interested about what it looks like to become a partner with Responder, reach out to your business development representative at CMS, whether it be or your support rep, whether it be Shmo, Alicia, Michelle, Kim, Jason, any of our, I like to call them our A team, our key people that basically keep the wheels moving on this bus here. Let them know that you're interested, and I'm going to compile a list of dealers, and I'll be reaching out to you and working on this project as we get going here. So we're really excited. So please, if you have any questions in particular about how the service works, that is not going to be targeted towards me. I'm happy to get on a call with you and Frank to discuss the benefits of Responder in your specific area, right? There's a lot of people on this call that are all over the country. But I know that if you are in Texas, you have a certain pain point that is much different than, as we discussed, California or Sandy Springs, or everyone is a little bit different with what they're dealing with regards to response. So I understand that, and we will, kind of take that on piecemeal. So please let us know, and let me make sure we have answered everything. And I will make sure that we send out this webinar, this recorded. I do know we did go a little bit over, so I apologize. We were a little bit late, and then there's been a good, engagement from the crowd. So that's always a wonderful, and I'd love to see it, that I'm not putting people to sleep, which sometimes I do with these, I think. So Frank, thank you. Good job. We will put this on our YouTube channel, as well as we will send an email out for those who are registered. So please, you know me, I'm Jackie. You have my email address at joneal@cmsn.com. And Frank, do you have your information that you could share by chance?
Yeah, I think it's up on the slide if you can see it.
Yep, it's right here.
Yeah.
I'm like staring right at it.
Yeah, but also everyone on the call. I mean, I'm fully active on LinkedIn. Please reach out. My full contact information is also on my profile there. Again, we apologize ahead of time for this little mishap with the technology, but hey, it's not a fun day unless something goes wrong with Zoom or one of the platforms we're working on. So
yeah. I mean, I do these all the time, and I'm like, why is this not working out as well as we normally do? But anyway, I think we're good to stop it here.